Hey, hi. Anybody else feel it? Just the like, boo boo. And this has been going on for a while. And when you start getting exhausted, it's very hard to stay positive. And my mom said last night, she messaged me, a little birdie once told me, just stay positive. And I'm sharing that little Sheena birdie with you. And I said I needed that. Thank you. We all get overworked. We all forget to stay positive. And I've spent my morning going, it's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be a great day. It's gonna be a great day. And we have to remember it is what we make it, right? I mean, my neighbor got in a motorcycle accident early Saturday morning, and he was released from the hospital yesterday, and I saw him. He won't be my neighbor much longer because he can't do stairs. But, his helmet split right in half and broke pretty much the whole right side of his body because someone cut him off and he had to lay his bike down to not run into the back of them, got wrapped up in their tires, and all kinds of stuff is going on for him. And they were like, man, you should see his bike. And I was like, he's lucky he's alive. He realizes he's lucky he's alive. And it's moments like that when those things happen to people that we know makes us go, man, I need to enjoy my life. I need to appreciate my life. It can be poof, evaporated. We can have little moments that change everything about our world. And when we're having to work to survive, because most of us are. I mean, I doubt I have a bunch of millionaires sitting on their yacht watching me. I don't need to remind you to be happy. You buy your own happiness. It's hard to create those moments, right? When you're exhausted. I have long days today and tomorrow, and yesterday was my day off, and it took me pretty much all of yesterday to get some form of energy. I spent a lot of my time journaling and just sitting outside and trying to breathe in the fresh air and just really trying to keep to myself, even though there was company around me. And a lot of times it's hard because then we're like, well, am I coming off rude to them? But at the same time, you can't ask yourself that because that's where you start overextending yourself again. That's where you give when you have nothing left to give. And I talked about being an overgiver, being a people pleaser, being a caretaker, and caretaker burnout is very real. I learned that when I was married to someone who had PTSD. Caregiver burnout was nothing that was spoken of. And honestly, I needed just as much help as he did. But there was nothing out there for me, and we have to learn how to give it to ourselves. And a lot of that comes through just staying positive. You'd be amazed at how much positivity can actually raise your vibration and your energy. And I know even in the darkest of times, rent's due. Today I have to pay rent and I had to pay my car insurance and, things are always going to be there. But when we sit there and we feel overwhelmed by those things, it's not changing anything. It's still going to be there. And it's just like my job right now. It's exhausting because there's so much that has to be done. But I have to sit there when I start complaining in my head and just go, thank you for allowing me the chance to have a job. And I know a lot of people don't have those opportunities, Thank you for letting me have a roof over my head or helping me to maintain that. Thank you for the food on my table. Thank you for the clothes that I get to wear. Thank you for the ability to bathe and stay clean because I at one point couldn't. That was a really hard part in my life. Had a shower bag living in a tent in the woods with my kids, and talk about tough. That went on for 7 months, and you had to hope the weather was nice. You had to hope that water wasn't freezing you just to be able to wash off just a little bit, I would try to find places where they could just go swimming, and sometimes they'd go a week without a bath because they had a bath when they were swimming. But Anyways, that's not talking positive. The positivity was, I'm not in those shoes anymore. I'm not having to make everything work when it was falling apart. I'm not having to act like I'm sane when I was going insane. It's at a point where a lot of us have to charade and parade and be like, oh, I'm fine. Every day my boss sees me and he's like, how are you doing? Oh, I'm good. It doesn't matter what I tell you I am or I'm not, because it's not going to change the agenda for the day, So instead of coming in and putting burdens on the table that someone doesn't really want to listen to anyways, I'm just what I always am. I'm good. What do we need to do? Let's get our hands dirty, right? And there is a shift in the air. A lot of it is Mercury in retrograde. All those things from the past are running at us right now. Bad relationships, memories that traumatized us, things that held us down, things that made it hard for us to breathe or cope in a moment. But you have to, in this moment right now, tell yourself, that was then, I'm in now, and to maintain a positive mindset. You don't have to go back there. That's the thing. When you move forward in life, you don't have to turn around. What would be the point? Why relive something that created nothing but pain, obstacles, heartbreak, made you get stuck in your head, made you want to give up on life? I remember those moments where I couldn't go anymore, but I had to keep going. And it's funny because that's been instilled in me since probably before I even knew I could think. We'd say in the womb, through the genetics. And it's weird because not everybody in my family is like me. Some just like, I can't do it. I give up. I don't care. And me, you say I can't, and I'm going to be like, what? That sounds like a challenge. Watch me do it twice. I will wear myself out to prove a point. But a lot of times it's to prove a point to myself, that I am capable. And just like you have to remember you are capable. And in these moments where we want to give up, or we're exhausted, or we're feeling pessimistic and why me, and going back to that victim mentality, that's when we have to pull ourselves out and go, it always changes. There's always a season, right? There's always a season that we have to plant the seeds that we want to sow later on. And that's the exhausting time. And then the hard part is having to wait patiently and not keep messing with it, letting it bloom and blossom to get to the point where we get to reap and harvest. And then we get to enjoy our bountiful ideas, wants, desires. Thing is, though, you can always change those by messing up what it is you're doing, by not doing the process correctly. Because believe me, I am the queen of impatience, and I'm trying so hard to change that concept for myself, that just because I want it faster doesn't mean it's going to get here sooner. And if it does show up sooner, it's going to just be like, it wasn't finished. Sorry if that offended anybody. It was not finished. It was not ready. And right now my brain is going down memory lane. I had a friend, we would have the deepest conversations. And I didn't realize in the moment we were having deep conversations. It was after the fact, when those conversations weren't held anywhere else, And we saw blue roofs on the regular. And it became a joke that it was the Cookie Monster roof. And I was sitting outside earlier and I thought of all the blue roofs that I had seen. That doesn't happen anymore. I'm not in the same vicinity. But either way it goes, that was then, and it's coming back now. And I'm like, why? Because Mercury retrograde, that's why. The memory bank starts going around and around, and it's like, wait, hold on. But I have to live now. So when the past does come back to visit you, it doesn't always haunt us, right? So when it comes back to visit, acknowledge it. Don't get stuck in it. Don't tell yourself that, oh, if I would have done that, no shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Don't live your life like that, because those are the moments that will actually bring you back down and start putting you into a pit of despair. You can't change what was. You can alter what is now by choosing the next steps, and then that allows you to make your future a little bit more of how you want it. Do you want it brighter? Do you want it lonelier? Do you not want to heal and you want to just, I'm fine. I'll just sit here. I'll sit here alone for the rest of my life. And it's funny because I was getting in that mindset. I was getting to the point where I was like, what do I care? I'm fine being single. And I have found the pluses in being single. I don't have to share my bed. I don't have to shave my legs. I can eat whatever I want. My weight can fluctuate. I can go mentally crazy from time to time. I can overindulge in alcohol. I can smoke as many cigarettes as I want. I have made so many excuses of being okay with being single. But when it comes to the root of the feeling, it's like, but none of us really want to be. None of us really want to be alone. It's just a comfortable spot to be. Nobody can hurt you. No one can abandon you. Nobody can tell you what to do. Nobody can make you overthink your actions. Sure, there's a lot of those things, but then we don't learn to compromise. And then we have to constantly fight the battle alone. And I've had to come to the understanding that we are stronger in numbers. That when we have a tag team and it's like, whew, thank God you're here. I was so tired. I remember when my kids were little and they would all I'd see is little fingers underneath the bathroom door. And I'm like, oh my God, can I just go to the bathroom in private? And then they'd both just be sitting there waiting on me. So sweet. Mama, 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 like little baby birds. But those moments are gone now. And it's funny because in the moments when they're occurring, we forget to enjoy them. But we go through and then we're like, I won't have that again. And we can't live in the mentality of wishing it away, hoping it will change, And I still catch myself in those moments. I told my daughter yesterday, I said, so I met a very awesome man and we're moving to Belize. And she looks at me and she goes, you're grown now, get out, move. Just get out. You're old enough to date. You have $20. Get out. And I was like, it was just an April Fool's joke. But it's funny how we get into these concepts. I forgot why I even brought that up, but it had me laughing. And eventually she just looked at me like, no more. Oh, it was basically me choosing a certain way of life so not to disrupt my children. But at the same time, it's me trying to dictate how my life will be. I'm the kind of person that's looking for that divine partner, that soulmate, somebody that is cut from the same cloth that I can compromise with, that I know who they are when I meet them. And I have met that person. But timing is never always right, And then we go through a point in life where we have to adjust, And I know a lot of you probably have had those same moments where you thought you found what would be your happily ever after. You thought you had invested in something that was fruitful. It doesn't make you an idiot. It doesn't mean that you failed. And that's where we have to get to the point where we forgive ourselves. Because even in those moments, I had a very hard time moving past that situation. And I'm talking over a year and a half. Would cry. I could feel the pain of pulling and energetic, and the thoughts wouldn't stop. And then one day I had to be like, girl, like it is what it is. You can keep moving forward in life. You can keep experiencing life in your own right. Yeah, it's funner with a partner, but at the same time, you can't stop living. And somehow this is turning into like a love message situation. But this is more so to do with the energies from the past that are coming back in my mind. Whatever's coming back from the past in yours, you'll cope with that in the best way that's good for you. I can't tell you how to handle what it is you have to deal with. We've all lost loved ones. We've all lost jobs that meant the world to us. We've all been broken down on the side of the road. We all didn't have all the money we needed for that vacation we wanted, or even those groceries, But it comes down to it to where it's like, I can still live, breathe, and continue to move forward. And the best mantra for me is, it is what it is, Honestly, people around me have started saying it, and it's adjusted their attitude, because when we try to control everything around us, it makes us want to break down. When we have to learn to surrender and accept it, that's where the faith and the strength comes in, and it's like, that happened way faster than I thought. I didn't even expect that. Oh my goodness, that's like a very big surprise, and how we react right now and the things that we're going through with Mercury in retrograde. Earlier I read, depending on how you take these moments, if you take them graciously, that's where the blessings come in. Because this is kind of a test. Are you still going to lash out? Are you going to break down? Are you going to shut down? Are you going to just I don't want a life anymore? And that's where a lot of this exhaustion is coming in. It's the things that are coming and going. The ocean, if it knew it could be tired, would be exhausted. I would have to assume. Just like the wind or the trees that have to lose and grow and lose and grow. Everything in life is a process. It's just us humans are the ones that actually overthink everything. We have a hard time just going with the flow of life, And maybe it's time to get on that train. The train of change and accepting it for what it is, I myself I'm having to recenter my thoughts. And like I said, this was a big portion of yesterday. Just writing and going through feelings and having to deal with what's been going on at work and what's going to continue to go on at work. And it's like hamster on a wheel and just like, oh my God. At some point I feel like the wheel kept going and I'm just riding and it's not fun. Let me off. I don't want to do this no more. But we can't give up. We can't lay down and give up. We're all way stronger than that. You're way stronger than that. You're more capable of giving into happiness, love, and abundance than holding on to fear, hate, and jealousy. What's the point? What's the point in comparing yourself where you don't fit in? Don't compete where you don't compare. Not everybody's like you. I've had to realize that about myself. A lot of times that's why I'm called upon way too many times in a day, because I'm fast. I solve problems. It's who I am. I'm an Aquarian. I don't know if everybody has these traits, but I myself have been that person that just fixes a lot of things. It's also being a mom. One that is like, okay, here's your chance. You're going to succeed. You know why? Because I have faith in you. And we have to treat ourselves like that. Why am I going to succeed? Because I believe in me. Remind yourself how great you are. Remind yourself that it's okay to be positive in a negative world, and it's okay to bring light to the darkness. We're all capable of it. So on that note, I'm going to let you yum on those thoughts. And what is it? Peace out. See you later. Bye.